Bandit wants to say hi, guys. Come on, Bandit. Hey, everybody. You want to say hi to everybody? Are you going to get up there and say hi? Okay, you can sit up on the table. That's fine. We'll let it be your little perch. Your little perch. How's it going, guys? Hey, Cerebro. Everybody, welcome Cerebro. I invited her to the stream today. I met her elsewhere. I told her she should check out our channel. Hey, Ray. Hey, Lumi. Sweet D. Yeah, Cerebro's a newbie, and I told her be prepared for the effery. So I don't know how many people we're going to have in here tonight, but it was just an impromptu live that I decided to do. I drew cards and asked, should I go live about Summer Wells? So here I am. Hey, Robin. Claws out. Look at Bandit. Baby. So I was trying to tune in to, while I was working, I was trying to tune in to a little bit to Prayer Garden, actually, because I was actually sent there, or people were telling me about it, and I went in there and I, got my heart racing, and I was like, should I go live? Because it gets me really actually kind of sick feeling like after the Ryan live, like I was so sick. It was crazy. Hey, country girl. Puppy made you activate. I need to turn this all around because we got so that I don't have to keep turning like that way maybe I don't know, it's kind of cockeyed. Kind of cockeyed. It's weird. I don't know how that's gonna do, really. Sorry. Do I not have a mic? No, not like a professional one, really. I mean, I used to have one that I would plug in and stuff. Hey, Paula. I saw you in Prayer Gardens. Headset, why can you not hear me? Okay. So let's start actually with what I posted on my wall. Let's get the discussion going first by reading that and seeing what you guys think. Okay. So share screen. For those who haven't seen it yet, I wanted you guys to see this. This was Crime Lines and Lies. And I guess she had the PI on there a while back. I never watched it really because honestly, like that PI is not going to know anything that I don't already know. I mean, I'm like, there's no way. I mean, I already feel like I know who all's involved and all that. I mean, and you guys watch Prayer Garden too. I mean, I don't know about Andrew, okay? But like, you know, that whole trip, yes, that trip was weird, okay? That was not normal. There's something up with it, but I don't think it's like directly related to Summer. It might be part of this ring. I don't know. I don't think it has any or directly related to that day. I don't think, but that's why I haven't really put much focus on Andrew. Yes, I noticed the occult types, ties. I see that in Jody Sue. I pointed that out early on in the case. That I felt like she was I just felt like my intuition, I mean, just by, I don't know, like, I guess her Facebook and just how she was, like, I just felt like she was I mean, I know, the opposite of God worshiper. And then you see, Andy Bernard and all these like necklaces and like they're gothic looking and he's in these hoodies and then yeah no, he gives me creep vibes. He gives me you're in some kind of cult vibes. I'm sorry. In my opinion. That's my opinion. And somebody made a good point to me today about his little necklaces and stuff. You guys remember how Jody Sue said that the key to the case is the dogs? And he just so happens to have a dog like necklace and all this like symbolism. Anyways, you guys, there's a whole ring of people here. I'm glad people are starting to see it. I'm glad people are starting to see the truth and who is a part of this and who is not. It's so easy to see. It's all in plain sight. That is like all this is in plain sight. So PI slips and says she, and then goes back on it and says he. I'm still convinced it was Marlena Crawford who contacted the PI about the Hayes brothers because it was right around the time of her on PG's panels, and Marlena kept avoiding talking about her baby daddy, Daniel Hayes, and she kept referring to him as Chad, which is his legal name, but everyone knows him as Daniel. She wanted people to be confused. Yeah, I saw something like that, Marie. Yeah. But it said like Florida children, so I don't. So it was very odd because I noticed if you guys look down here, you know, a while back when she was on PG's panel, I posted this. So this was 2 months ago, actually. Wow, it's been 2 months. For those curious, this is Marlena's ex and father of a child. So this is one of the brothers, guys. This is I believe, the brother. One of the brothers that people are talking about. For those curious, this is Marlene's ex and the father of her child. Everyone that knows him calls him Daniel, but his government name is Chad. There seemed to be some confusion from some messages I'm getting. I'm just posting this here for reference. And so I posted that there for reference because Marlena was up on PG's panel saying she, like, separating herself from this guy. He has a brother named Bradley Hayes, who is a registered sex offender in the area. He is the one that was doing Jody Sue's tattoos. Connection. You could already see how it's so easy to see who all's involved in some kind of weird ring. Marlena Crawford got in trouble for something to do with birth certificates. I thought it was funny. Like, yeah, we've never mentioned this guy before. Ryan, are you serious? That's the father of Journey. Okay. You need to get with the program. It's a father of Journey. And yes, he's been mentioned from the beginning. And yes, especially at the beginning, he was mentioned more because of that whole party before the couple days before Summer went missing. So when I posted this, Marlena freaked out and got off panel. She also was saying she's stalking her. She claimed Andy was stalking her. Well, I believe her. Probably is true. Probably is true. She's still in the area with all these people. So I'm sure she's scared to say what she knows. She's connected to Andy through Daniel Hayes and their brother, or his brother, Bradley Hayes. All those people back there, like it's rumored, like the Sherfies, for example. Remember he got caught with CP? Another one part of the ring, I believe, in my opinion. And rumored that Andy Bernard's son was riding around with Sherfy Jr. the day that Summer went missing. Allie, I believe, was part of this whole cult as well. I mean, I understand she's deceased now, but I absolutely believe it. We found out somebody messaged me with some really interesting information. Well, actually, Fred with some really interesting information that I don't think anybody's seen. But here, actually, let's listen to this right here. Real quick. We didn't listen to this clip. He accidentally said she.
The accent of the individual had a thick Appalachian accent, which, clearly means he's from that part of the country rather than if he had a New Jersey accent. The accent of the individual had a thick Appalachian accent, which, clearly means he's from that part.
Which clearly means she's from those parts. Then he goes back to say he. I believe that was a Freudian slip. I do believe it was a woman that contacted him. I do believe it was Marlena Crawford. It all fits. It was around the time she's starting to get scared because things are starting to come out. And Andy, you should be really scared right about now. Remember, Rick Crawford tells Rick Crawford, Marlena Crawford's dad, tells Fred early on after Summer goes missing that Don Wells told him that Summer was sacrificed for his sins. Marlena Crawford's dad. Marlena Crawford and Ricky Crawford's dad. Who's connected to the Hayes brothers. Who is connected to Andy and Jetty Sue. To Allie, you know, she buying her weed, going down there to Andy's work, right? We've got somebody else we need to really look into. Well, a couple people. August 25th, 2018. Candace, you know, I've come to realize this in life. I have a daddy and a mama, but guess what? I got nothing really. I got this guy that's supposed to be my dad, but ain't. I got a mama that wants to play mama and grandbabies that are not hers. But you know what? I got my 4 babies and a husband and Cat Cleek Debbie Bear, aka my Nana, and Blaine Cleek, Seth Cleek, Amber Cleek, Buddy Anderson. I got you, family. Okay. No biggie. However, hold on. If I can find, I have to find where I sent it to myself. Is there one more? Oh. How do I get to it? I'm trying to find where I guess I maybe just sent right here. Okay. Maybe this was it. I guess this is all it's all in Fred's messenger. And I just sent to me what I thought I would need. This is what I have an issue with. 110 Ben Hill Road, Rogersville, Tennessee, 37857. Debbie Bear. Okay. This is her, and people keep getting, there's another picture of her that a lot of people are like, is that freaking Rose Bly? Because now Fred saw her and was like, oh my gosh, is that who I saw at Candace's that I thought was Rose Bly? I'm sure somebody else is looking at that, and they mentioned to me about how much she looked like Rose Bly. And I was like, before, right when Fred was telling me, and I'm like, what the hell? Are you serious? Anyways, we need to get the picture of, I need to have Fred send me the picture of all those kids and stuff. She supposedly has a son that would hang up there. You remember that Cameron also that would hang up out there? I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff here. Feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff. That's why I need Fred in here. It was said that there was a dude or two connected to Josie and Andy that day that Summer went missing. Yeah, is there another picture? Wasn't there another picture too? Fred? Wasn't there another picture?
Yes, that.
Oh, I don't care.
Here, send what you need.
I don't know.
It's up to us and discuss ideas.
Here's another picture of her being raised. She says she was raised military. Anyways, it's not just the fact that she kind of looks like Rose Bly. It's the fact that was posting in big in the Summer Wells groups. It showed. Oh, that's what I want to show. You guys saw how it showed her living there that's the big part. That's the big part I missed. Yeah. What the heck? That's the big part I missed. Truth Finder shows her living up on 110 Ben Hill Road up until June of 2021. At 110 Ben Hill Road, it shows her living. She's a Simpson.
She had married a Simpson.
Originally. Oh, she married a Simpson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's connected to the Simpsons. Lived up there at 110 Ben Hill Road. It says, which of course they're not always accurate, but it's strange.
Supposedly Seth is her son.
Seth, yeah. And then that's connected to that Amber's Altars person. That's all into that, all that freaking weird, like devil worshiping stuff. Like, yeah, look at Jody Sue's Facebook, all that symbolism. Look at her kids' Facebooks. Look at what she has her daughter, the kind of art she has her daughter into. You guys, it's so in our face.
But supposedly
this was November 2020. It says she lived there from November 2020 to 2021. No, she's in Kingsport. She's not, doesn't have Wisconsin ties. That's a different girl. This is not Rose, the other Rose.
But you looking for a picture
of what, the kids?
Yeah. Just keep showing.
That one I might want to. If I could figure out how to do it. How do you share it? Okay.
That's about the black guy and white guy with them kids.
Yeah.
And see, supposedly
black guy and white guy with those kids. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
We need there's a better picture of that. Yeah. So her son is right there.
That's Seth that was in that picture. From what I gathered from what Seth Blake or something like that. Or no, shit, what is it? Seth.
Look at this picture, guys. So that boy right there, that's that Seth.
That's what they're trying
to say.
Is that?
So that's.
I've got a picture of Seth. I don't know.
Oh, I know. I just didn't want to put out any. This one's blurred. I don't mind putting it out because it's blurred. Mm-hmm. And it has a bunch of kids in it. I don't know if this guy's over 18 yet. I think he is, so it's fine. But, you know, a lot of people have this picture. I don't know. We haven't figured out really who that black guy is yet. But have you guys noticed also how Allie always had like all those kids around, just like even Pergar brought that up. All those kids around, you know, shaving their heads. That picture of the, you know, Dawn in the basement with the youngest son in a dress. Were they trying to make Summer look like a boy? Is that why Jody Sue thought she was so scared that why she's like, oh my God, they took the wrong child. Is that why they shaved Summer's head to make her look like a boy so that they wouldn't take Summer and they would take Andy's child? Because see, Jody Sue knew Andy and Dawn shared a drug debt, so that's why she was so scared and why freaked out. Like, oh my God, it could have been my child. Cameron was True's ex, I believe. And I really hope Andrew's not, like, I don't know, like, I haven't looked much into Andrew because, like, yeah, I think that trip is weird. I mean, I'm sorry, it is weird. I mean, I tell him that myself. It's freaking weird. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I've said that since the beginning, but I kind of pulled away from it because, like, I didn't feel like it had anything directly related to the day Summer went missing, but it could be part of something else, like, kind of related to it. The cousin on Daisy's channel was from Wisconsin. So you guys see why there's a friend that came down right after Dahmer went naughty named Rose. Oh. Forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, you guys see what I mean by how it's so easy to see who's all part of this ring and who's all the ones trying to distract. It's all coming together. They're not going to be able to hide much more anymore. People are starting to see all the people that are connected. Andy Bernard, you better start freaking talking. Jody Sue, you better start talking. Dawn and Candace, of course, that's a given. Marlena Crawford. Possibly even Bill Shipley. I'm sorry. Allegedly. He's real close with all those people. All these people. And these people are all connected to all the pedos back there. The Sherfies, the Lights, the Hayes. That's why I believe this one is, hold on. We're going to look back at this live someday, guys, and you guys are going to see. That's why I'm putting this shit out there, because I can't wait to be like, Ryan, you are buddies with a person who is involved. I mean, also, guys, there's another lady I talked who claimed to have seen and overheard a conversation Candace had at the water park, the aquatic center over there. And I know the lady's name. I've tried to contact her, but she had spoke to Fred at one point before Fred got involved in the case and had mentioned how she had seen Candace at the aquatic center and overheard her talking to another lady who was there in a van with a bunch of kids, and she was talking about CPS. And yes, I'm sorry. I do think Jose, at this point, I do believe Jose knew about it. And I kind of have to go back to my theory that he unalived himself because he, to me, he seems like one of those people that, might have done some things when he was like inebriated or under the influence that now he regrets when he was sober. And now, he couldn't handle living with himself, knowing he was involved in all that stuff. gang member with history of human trafficking, wanted in Knox County, now in custody. Washington was wanted in Knox County for violation of sex offender registry requirements. This guy is now dead. He died last year, or 2023. I don't have any real proof of this guy's connection beyond what I heard from the lady who claimed to, this is just my theory of who I believe could be Playboy, the original Playboy, because it just fits the way she described him, the being older but looking younger, somewhat good looking. So I guess he's good looking. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, it's exactly, she, let's see, at 7 inches or so, how tall would that make him? 5 by 62. Oh, so he's only like 12 times 6, that's 72. He's not even 6 foot. But anyways, this is a theory because with this guy, officials with the Rogersville Police Department said a confirmed member of the Vice Lords. There's my other theory. Confirmed member of the Vice Lords gang. One of the oldest street gangs in Chicago, who was wanted in Knox County, was arrested Sunday. Police said they saw a vehicle drive through an intersection before ending up in a ditch. According to reports, officers saw the driver asleep behind the wheel while the car was still running. When officers woke the driver, he reportedly tried to hide a syringe in his pocket. The driver, identified as Marcus Washington, said he was sleepy and must have fallen asleep while driving. Police said Washington appeared to be unaware of his surroundings and slurred his speech. Police have discovered Washington had 2 active warrants in Knox County and the U.S. States Marshal Service. Washington was wanted in Knox County for violation of sexual order registry requirements. I'm going to just, it says officials had issued warnings that Washington was considered armed and dangerous with violent tendencies before his arrest. During a search of Washington's vehicle, police discovered syringes, 2 types of powdered believed narcotics, 4 guns, a marijuana grinder, syringes, and other drug paraphernalia. Investigators say Washington is a convicted felon with previous charges of kidnapping, human trafficking, possession of firearms, and possession of drugs. Between the charges were issued between 1997 and 2015. Now, we need to see if he was out on the streets. I actually believe he was out on the streets because I looked into this. I do see that this is a 2020 article and stuff, and Summer went missing in 2021. But I had found other things. Let's see. I don't think this one's. This is also about him. This is from April of 2015, talking about how he was out of Knoxville, indicted as Marcus Washington. At the time in 2015, he was 37. So now he would be 47. And he's from Farragut, Tennessee, charging with 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, threats of force, fraud and coercion, conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute a controlled substance, and possession and intent to distribute a controlled substance. The indictment on file with the U.S. District Court charges Washington with separate counts of sex trafficking by force, threats of force, fraud and coercion in relation to 2 victims. Oh, and he just so happens to be found caught in Hawkins County, of all places, in Rogersville, right around Don and Candace's stomping grounds. He just so happens to be passed out in Rogersville, of all places. This dude, a Vice Lord gang member, tied to Knoxville. You guys do not see this. Like, I don't see how people are not seeing this. It is so obvious. Brandon's problem is also, yes, I'm sure she's a part of all this stuff. I know, I don't trust chasing either at all. And I'll be waiting for an apology from her and her crew, including Trevor, freaking whatever the hell his name is. Trying to label Fred as a number one suspect while supporting Andy and coming in my chat to defend Andy just months ago. Fucking sick, dude. Just because you have a vendetta, just because you want to fit in, just because, oh, your friends say Fred's involved. Like, how irresponsible when you're running for a position in government. Tracy made a big deal of support for Black Lives Matter for some reason. Well, you know, one thing, side note, I mean, it's not really, and I haven't found any more evidence of this being true, but the woman who brought out all the information who first came to me with the Playboy stuff, where it all originally came from, claimed that Andy would always, like, when he would go to Knoxville, he would always go and see this one Black girl. He had a thing for the Black women, is what she said. Hey, Charlotte's Webbing. Oh, is she? So the lady is allegedly Candace's cousin. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Debbie one? Well, it shows her living up on 110 Ben Hill Road up until June of 2021. So, but it's also rumored that she also too might be deceased. So, hell, guys. Terry, it wasn't just for drugs. It was trafficking. Do you not understand? It's trafficking. Human trafficking. It's not just for drugs, Terry. Has nothing to do with race. It's all for purposes of the details, so we could put the puzzle pieces together. Please don't. It has nothing to do with race. So don't even go there. I don't mean it like that. Race is important in identifying people. But they weren't only going to Knoxville for human traffic for drugs, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I love all these people that have like white knighted for Andy. Like, I cannot wait for you guys, for these people to explain themselves. And I'm talking to people like freaking even Cher, Ryan, number one to Ryan. Mama Sassy, aka Adrian, freaking her buddy Jenny, Chasing Truth, all you guys. when you have more than enough evidence to see what kind of people Don and Candace are and were. The key to the case is dogs. Ernie said traffickers refer to children as dogs. Oh, really? What about the little dog necklace that Ryan likes to, or that, I'm sorry, Andy likes to wear? Andy Bernard, what about his little dog necklace that he liked to show us? All this weird gothic shit or weird symbolic shit he likes to wear. No, Ernie is not credible, but still, it's a very good. I mean, it's truth is truth. If it's true, I mean, there's probably other. Jody Sue said the dogs are the key to the case too. That's another weird thing. The dogs are key to the solving the case. Andy has a dog on his necklace. The 110 always has a million fucking dogs everywhere. Is it something symbolic for trafficking? Is it something symbolic for a cult? Is it something? Why are all these dogs always hanging out up there? Like everybody in the country, yes, people in the country have dogs and stuff like that. And have dogs that come and go, but it's strange. I mean, just the fact that Jody Sue says this, the dogs are the key to the case. No, it's not all Andy, Terry. It's a group. It's a huge. I'm telling Andy is just one of a whole bunch of them. But I do believe Andy was one of the first ones like connected to it. Like the first one in the chain. She got passed down several times. I believe she was passed to Andy. That's my opinion. And Andy somehow, did whatever with that person in the dark blue truck. Whoever that is that we have to find. That's the key to the case. And that's why Pruitt wanted to know who the dark blue truck is. Yep. And there's that Dustin Overbay. He's another one that's the Overbays are another one. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and just name all these people who all is part of this cult. And it's so easy to see, though. Go look up all the sex offenders in the area and see which ones hang out with Don and Candace and Andy and Jody Sue. Mm. Oh, it's a huge group, guys. That's why, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. That's why we haven't had an arrest yet. They got to take them all at once. They're going to take them in as a whole group, a whole operation, like they perform these operations before. They take them all in. Look it up, guys. Any case you see when it comes to trafficking or a ring of people, they take them all in at once. At once. Look at the news. They always bring them in as a big group. It just makes sense. We've got to get them all. Because if we don't get them all, they must not have the very top people, because that's who they're trying to get. Not the low levels like Andy and Candace and Don. I think Andrew can be involved. in some weird shit, but I don't know. I've never really felt like directly with Summer's disappearance, but he could definitely be into some stuff. But I'm focused, he might be a part of this whole, I don't know. I hope not. I really, really, really hope not. I really hope not. I really do. But it is odd. Like there is a lot of things that go back to New York and around that area when you look into the Summer Wells case. You think Robin and the media manager are involved too? Oh yeah. The media manager, I think, is also part of this. Well, allegedly. The Wells spokesperson? Yeah. Especially since I learned that you guys found a picture of them, Tim Mullins and Don, together when they were like, what, teenagers or something? Or in their 20s? So, yeah. And Robin, I don't think so. But I do think that, I wonder if she really did wear a wire, or not a wire, but like, they don't actually wire you up. They give you a recorder. Yeah, I didn't know either. But then Tasha really until recently. Just what about Brad with Sean too? Another one that's probably, and think back, just go back. Let's just think back, because all these people, what about, where do they come from? Popping up, like Ryan pops up out of nowhere. Then, and he just so happens to work at Eastman, and just, it's odd. Like you really, now I don't think Ryan's a part of it. Like, I don't think so, but God, I don't think he's a part of like a ring, but I think like, could he be connected to, brought in to try to, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Yes, they do bring them all in this big group. They arrested 19 in that area close to where I live. I do believe the parents have something to do with her disappearance. I absolutely do. Don's always been into weird religious stuff. What about that person that was on PG's who claimed to know Don and claimed that he got into some weird religion stuff, and he's always worshiping these weird, deities. Just like he gets all, it's strange. And then Rick Crawford said that Don told him that he sacrificed Summer, for his sins, which just so happens to be Marlena Crawford's father, who's just so happens to be the baby mama of Daniel Hayes, who just so happens to be the brother of Bradley Hayes, who is a tattoo artist of Jody Sue and Andy. Oh, we're just going to go ask up to Andy and ask if, a van full of kids. Yeah, how did St. Daniel know that Summer was missing before Marlena knew? And Marlena didn't even question. That's another sign that I believe it was definitely Marlena Crawford that contacted the PI. I 100% believe it, and convinced. She's probably scared, and that's why she's coming out. So maybe that's a good sign that Marlena came out, because it shows that she's getting scared, and she's saying Andy is stalking her. And I believe it because I've seen Andy pass where me and Fred were staying at Fred's sister's once, and then Jody Sue was right behind him, and then they go around and they act like everybody's stalking them. Well, Jody Sue goes around and acts like everybody's stalking her when it's actually the other way around. Nobody cares, Jody Sue. We don't care at this point. Maybe at the first few months people were, or something, or the first 6 months. Nobody cares. Nobody, we know we don't care. No way. No way. Don and Candace are 100% involved. You don't talk about children in sexual ways. You don't talk about how hot their body is when they're 12 years old. It's disgusting. You don't talk about her probably being beaten the fuck out of and fish food and probably being traded for crack and seeing that happen. Nobody sees that happen unless you're involved with that type of stuff. Just like Andy Bernard, who claims to just have ran into somebody who's offering him freaking people for purchase or girls for purchase. Sorry. Don's involved in some really not good things. And that's how what ended up and trickled down to Summer being missing. It's 100% because of what Don was involved in and Candace. Rose Bly is missing. Same thing.
Just like Don talking about he'd been where kids are sold.
Yeah, Don saying where he'd been where kids would sold and stuff. Like, that's not normal. Have you ever been there? You know what I mean? Like, that's not, and I'm not yelling at you, but that's just not normal. People don't, you're not around that. You don't have friends that are into that stuff unless you're into it. You're birds of a feather flock together. You don't hang out with people. Would you hang out with people who traffic children? Like, would you even know people like that unless you were seeking and trying to find that? Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. That's exactly, Terry. And then laughed and said, and then tried to, in a phone call to me, Don says, oh, well, at least my oldest daughter, she was AR'd on her 18th birthday and she didn't go cry and complain. She took it like, basically like took it like a champ, basically. That's what he said. He said it like 100%. Nobody talks like that.
It's just like the van showing up at Andy's work with trying to sell them those.
Yeah, I already mentioned that. You must be behind it. Have you ever, I was just talking about that. Did you, I wonder if you refresh. Yeah, the whole,
yeah, I mean, you go on.
Yeah, that's why you should sit here and talk with me.
Shit for them to trust you enough to pull up. They ain't gonna just pull up to just any Joe and say, "Hey, you want to buy a child?"
Right. Hey, can you turn off? Did you ever in your okay, turn that off before I ask this question so they can hear you better.
Yeah, I remember.
Did you ever in your many years of drug dealing, your whole life, ever, even your parents were into it, drug dealing. Did you ever see anything about kids being traded, people trafficking ever in your years of all these, people you and shady people you would have been around in that type of environment? Had you ever seen anything like that?
No, I've never even talked about children. Most places I ever was, they never even mentioned children at all.
People talk
but most likely that's why they was going out of town to do it too. A lot of it, like Knoxville and places, so the locals wouldn't actually know.
Yeah, but there's so many of them connected, like with Sherfy and connected to Don and Candace, and then just to hear that Andy's son was supposedly riding around with Sherfy Jr. on the day Summer went missing. And it's like you're connected to that person, and it's like all these people are connected, and they're all part of the same ring, in my opinion. And that's why when people start to realize this and actually process this in your mind, it starts to make sense why it's taking so long. When you look at the news and they make arrests for trafficking, it's always in groups. always. And so, Andy, Bernard, you were on the road 100%. I don't care who people say he has proof that he's at work. I don't care. I know. Fred talked with law enforcement. He worked with law enforcement. You're going to sit here and tell me that Fred worked with law enforcement and talked with them about it. And they have him on surveillance and Fred like seen it. You're going to tell, and others too, you're going to tell me, oh, no, he was on the road. I don't care if he was work earlier. He was there at 3:45. Sorry.
3:47.
Well, I mean, he would have been in the area at 3:45.
Yeah.
So, it was 3:47 allegedly about the time you saw him, but he was always over.
Blue truck, but he was a little bit earlier than that when I seen him go in. But when he was on Simpson Lane, it was at about roughly 3:30, I think it was.
People need to keep the pressure on these people. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Like as far as the creators going live about these certain people, part of this ring, because I think at this point it's pretty obvious. We're supposed to talk to Donna sometime, Tasha. Cam and Allie they posted Cam posted a short, guys, and he looked horrible. I've never seen him look that bad ever. I'm sorry, that's just my and that was over on TikTok if you want to check it out. But yeah, we're supposed to talk to Donna. I know, I just don't want to pressure her or anything, but yeah, like
And just like George
Bernard.
He was at Ben Hill. He was the first one that spoke to me when I pulled up to Ben Hill Road when they had after Summer went missing. He was the first one walked up to me and talked to me before they even let me pull on to Ben Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's
not going to slip and say anything if they're going to be put in prison. Where Summer, nobody's going to slip and say something like with sex trafficking. It's not like drugs. It's a big deal. I mean, it's children. It's children sex trafficking. Nobody's going to want to admit to that. I don't believe that. Now, I feel like I do feel like maybe somebody, I think there's more. Like, I feel like these people, it's not just Summer. You can't just slip your freaking family would be in jeopardy. Like, as far as like, you would have the whole town wanting to unalive you, like a whole group of them. The only reason why I'm even somewhat safe talking about this is because Fred's up here and we're several hours away. When he comes back in here, I'll ask him. We asked Fred if he really did see Candace pulling in while he was pulling out the day that Summer went missing, because she said she's seen Fred on the road and she passed him. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a whole lie. Now, Fred passed Dawn in the morning. The morning that Summer went missing, Fred saw Dawn pulling off 110 Ben Hill Road and had the boys in his vehicle. When he's supposed to be at work, Kind of think, Terry, that something makes me think that Candace was saying that to try to, I don't know, confuse or something, but we'll see. I don't know. Fred will be on.
I never seen Candace gun on the 15th. Period.
None at all. Not even after Summer went missing.
No. I never seen Candace period on the 15th.
Mm-hmm. I guess Candace tried to say she passed you or whatever.
Only thing I seen.
Said when she was pulling out, you were pulling in or something. Bet Lawson's son's involved. That whole thing didn't help either. With that happening around that time, and I don't know what to think. Like him, that all hush hush, that was not handled correctly either. But I'm not trying to. It's hard because I don't want to piss off law enforcement, the ones handling Summer's case, but it's just right is right and wrong is wrong. And that whole thing was, nobody can say that was honestly say that was handled correctly. Your cases are supposed to be public for transparency. It's so there is not any type of F shit going down. Like that's the whole point.
I mean, that's just like someone stated Candace was on Light Horror at a certain time. Candace wasn't on Light Horror at that certain time. Because I was on Light Horror at that certain time too, and I never seen nobody.
Mm-hmm. See, it's just like these people, I feel like Jody Stu, Jody Stu, very good example. Just throwing out everything. She'll put out truth. She'll put out lies. She'll put out good stuff about Andy, bad stuff about Andy. It's all to confuse. It's all to keep us running in circles. That's all it is. It's, you guys research out in plain sight. When people do things in plain sight, it's the easiest way to hide it, because you wouldn't think people are going to put their stuff out there like that, but when you've got a whole group of them and they've been doing this for generations, it's normal to them. It's normal, and they don't really look at it as wrong in a way. I mean, they have others to back up their bad behaviors because they're all part of this group. They got these others that kind of make them, I guess, feel like it's okay or something. I don't know how anybody would think it was okay, but in a way, not so much thinking it's okay, but they strengthen each other, they strengthen numbers. And
I just wish I still had all that stuff on my phone from Knox County where I turned it in.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he was down to detailed stuff about everything. How it even was supposed to unfold it.
I wonder if they ever talked to him, law enforcement, to the guy that they claimed to. They were wanting to reach out to him, but I don't know if they ever were able to really. And maybe if that really is Playboy that I think could be, maybe it will help like people come forward, because maybe people be less scared.
I mean, he went into too many detailed talk about how everything, from the CPS to everything is supposed to happen on the 13th and stuff. Or
and I kind of wonder, was
to even who I was supposed to be involved right there, that got her through Knoxville.
We need to listen to my call, like the Lady of the Night call, and see if it sounds like, see if it now sounds like anybody we know, like Marlena Crawford or something. Or,
It didn't sound like Marlena.
Here we go.
with the Playboy guy, with that dude, was he sleeping with the girls too? I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of a dumb question. So when she first got there, was he? You said that she was kind of like
She was like Miss Trap Queen.
Let's go to Playing the Lady of Night. I want to find the one without, I think I have it without commentary. Maybe I don't have it. Do I really not have it posted? Just hold on. Let me see if I'm going to find my. It's probably I have it under my calls folder. Oh, it's still opening. I guess. Right here, Knoxville call. I think we need to listen to it again. My computer is like running.
So it's like weird how much like Knoxville has. Well, Andy didn't mention it. Actually, Fred Hill mentioned it to me about Andy. How Andy. Well, I called the other day. He said that when Don told him that he was gonna
I'm stuck.
He was at.
I'm
And
stuck.
that he did bring somebody with him several times, but she wasn't. Oh man, if she saw a picture of him, I wonder if she would know him. If she would know if it was him. Yeah.
This kind of. You guys.
It's like weird how much like Knoxville has. Well, Andy didn't mention it. Actually, Fred Hill mentioned it to me about Andy. How Andy. Well, I called the other day. He said that when Don told him that he was gonna he was at, and that he did bring somebody with him several times, but she wasn't. Oh man, if she saw a picture of him, I wonder if she would know him. If she would know if it was him. Yeah. Yeah. Like in the back, maybe it was like a bar or something, or what? Complicated drugs. I mean, when I drugs up there, oh, okay. So it was like one of those, like, kind of like crappy motel. Mhm. Does she remember the name of the hotel or motel? Oh, like her. Oh, yeah. So like her pimp or the guy that.
The whole ring.
If it was, but did he own the motel or not? Oh,
Highway.
Huh?
The motel she's talking about was on Alcoa Highway.
Yep.
Off Alcoa Highway.
Yeah, and Fred went over with law enforcement
On the map.
On the map. pointing out which motels they needed to check.
That Dennis had told me about,
You can't hear her. How do you not? You can't hear her. You don't think she sounds like a Marlena Crawford?
No. Don't sound that like Marlene.
Can you hear her when I was
can
playing?
hear her.
Huh?
I can hear her pretty
Okay.
good, but she's crackly. Like, I don't know if
Hold on, let me listen on my phone
I can't hear nothing.
to see if it sounds like how I hear how
Now I hear you speaking. I didn't hear nothing of her playing.
come on, let me try to could you guys not hear it? Let me listen on my
It might just get by her headphones. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing until you took them and clicked it up. Like,
Why is it not working? That's weird. Huh.
I can hear you, but I can't hear the woman. Like,
I thought I uploaded this call separately by itself. I wonder that is oh, that's right. When I mute it, I can't mute it. That's right. I forgot. I freaking forgot. You can't mute or you won't be able to hear shit. Okay. I'm sorry.
Motel.
And yeah, the audio is kind of crackly, so you're gonna want earbuds. It's not the like best quality, but I just rewinded it a little bit because I didn't realize, like, I forgot that you can't hit mute. I hit mute to try to make it so you guys could hear better, but I forgot when you're playing it on media player. I thought I had this call uploaded by itself without commentary. It would be easier if I could. No commentary. Okay, I guess I didn't Upload it. That's an important call. I don't know why I didn't upload that by itself.
In a breath. And I knew it was a hotel. But she said, when you go behind the hotel, it was like 2 levels. It was like a underneath level to it, and then, you know, but yeah. And I think does she remember the name of the hotel or motel? Oh, like her boy. Oh, yeah. So like her pimp or the guy that Playboy. If it was, but did he own the motel or not? Oh,
I did turn this into law enforcement back in July of 2022.
Who?
What?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. So okay, Playboy.
So she was just saying how they would have regular customers in the motel too. It was actually a real running motel. They would have regular customers in there like that, and they would put them in the front of the motel. And the whole operations of the, you know, trafficking, where they had rooms in the back with girls. Yeah, it was in the back. You had to go around the building to be aware of it.
I'm taking it. Playboy. Okay, and then Habib, owner of motel.
So I was writing things down. That's why I was like repeating, because I wasn't sure like when I was going to be able to put it out or whatever.
Man, so do you have do you have the ability like to test her if I sent you a picture? Let me see if she's on my phone tomorrow with her husband. Yeah. I love that. I said, it's only my she said, well, somebody got over it. So, okay, so you're talking about wait, are you talking about this lady? Or I thought you were, wait. Back here. Where's here? Like, Robert? What's it called?
Bunkle. So she's talking about the lady that, or the lady that Dawn had supposedly given a ride away from to escape Playboy, and dropped her off in Bluntville. Now this was after Summer went missing, that she's talking about. This would have been a few months, or this was in July of 2022, and what she's describing was around the time that, I'll give you a really good reference, is when Benny was in Tennessee. This is what she's describing is around the time that whole crack binge or whatever is the same thing I believe that she's talking about. And it's when Dawn, it's the same thing.
Is it Blount? Yeah, Blount. Okay, BlountBille. Bluntville. Wait, you smoke a blunt? Yeah. Okay. Okay, like okay, sorry. she's conflicted, but she has McDonald's or something, she said. So would he, like, was he a regular of her? Yeah. She was a regular. Oh, many others. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah. She's scared of what? She's scared of the body. Oh, really? Like the beef guy? Yeah. That makes sense.
I agree a little bit, Missy. I wonder, and somebody else was messaging me too. I'm wondering if they knew Don and Candace before Summer went missing, and because of the proximity, and I don't know, just a lot of weird stuff. Who is hold on. I was reading your guys' messages to see what's going on.
Was it the drugs that kept her in it? Like it kept her stuck? Well, it was funny. She got down in Knoxville. She was in the mouse's ear. Yeah, the mouse's ear, and she was
So she's talking about how this girl got into involved with Playboy and how she started being trafficked by him. And she was working at the Mouse's Ear, which is a strip club that Jody Sue's brought up even. And yeah, she talks about how this girl basically, she made friends with this girl, and this girl, she got her really messed up and then took her to Playboy and then just dropped her and left her there for her debt, like to take care of her debt that she owed Playboy. So and
it was Diamond. And she got 3 women with her. So Diamond got found because he was selling drugs out of the club. So she convinced this girl to look at her honesty. And kept on. Yeah. For other people, right. Like dude. I mean, Diamond pretty much symbolic.
Diamond.
Oh.
So the girl's name was Diamond, guys. The girl's name was Diamond. She went by, well, her stage name was Diamond. She slipped and said it right there, that supposedly owed a debt to Playboy. Maybe we could find this girl. I don't know. I doubt that she would talk because most of these people, I'm sure, it's hard to get out of the drug scene. So you know, and when you're still in that, you can't really talk. Oh, I know this woman's telling the truth now at this point. Then it's like, oh my God, it was crazy and wild, but it seems it's correct. Hey, Rihanna.
Wow. Yeah. Mama was down and she was there. And she said, so she stayed lived there at this place pretty much. Yeah. And Don was the one that gave her the ride to get away from there? Yeah. When he got home, he'd come in and he'd buy a lot of drugs, then leave. And he said, and she was sitting there, and she said, she grabbed her backpack, and she said, jump on and leave it, and she was just get away. Wow.
She talked Dawn into bringing her back to Blunttville.
And she said he talked crazy. He was talking religion and
Talking religion.
he was talking religion. Yeah, he was definitely religious, but he was super, super hot, she said. She said she was super hot. She just called the principal, you know, she didn't upset him. And she didn't So, but did she said, no, he's a nice guy. Oh, yeah, he does come off like a nice guy. But I don't know how he is. But it was crap that he would purchase, correct? Yeah. She said, all the things. A lot of different drugs? Yeah. Was he into any? They were taking notes down there in one room and pills, pressing pills in another room. I don't know a drug ring going on there. So, wow. Okay, so did she mention about any type of weird sexes with him, like sexually? She said that he couldn't have, he won't have the ability, but he didn't have the ability. Oh. Because the rest would keep him from getting it up. So that would be kind of a good thing for her then, right? Well, she said he would, get mad. You know. Problem, you know. But she said she was about to find to get, home. Wow. See, I remember no faxes, no phones or cars or anything, no. That's crazy because I remember, would he be drinking too? Yeah, he would be drinking too, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Because I remember something said, actually, I think I remember. She said no, about having children. He wouldn't even, he took girls and had abortions on them, people from having children there. So that wasn't, I don't think somebody would be there.
So basically the Summer wasn't, she's basically trying to say that he kept her at his private, or basically wasn't kept at the hotels. Because
he's not arrested, like this stuff is still going on as far as
he didn't want children there at the hotel.
There was 2 houses that they housed the children at most times.
That's what, we learned after the fact.
And then there was 3 motels that, they would bring them at certain hours to them motels.
When she left there, it was. When did she went back? That's great. So how did she give you did she tell you when she left, or? It was close to Christmas. It was around Christmas. Wow, so just past Christmas? Just this past Christmas? Yeah. Did she know about missing Summer? Or Summer missing? Yeah. Wow, so she saw him after Summer went missing. Yeah. But he never mentioned anything about that. Oh my gosh.
So this girl supposedly didn't know that he had a missing daughter at the time. She didn't realize it until after, and she got home and out of this situation she was in, and she saw the news and Summer missing, and she was like, wait, I know that guy, and that's how they started having this conversation about Don Wells. Hey, Cerebro. Hey, Carrie.
But yeah, the motel she's talking about is the one that's on Alcoa Highway, and then the other 2 one was on Magnolia, and then one that next to the corner of Magnolia and Cherry Street was the 3 motels that they got them children from. A week after they did my phone, where they sent the U.S. Marshals and Special Tactical Unit out of Texas. Yeah. And I do know that they got 22 children at them 3 motels for a fact. But their names ain't never been released as I know of. That was just at them 3 main motels that we had took and went over maps and stuff. That when I took my phone and had it built.
No, Charlotte, we haven't really. The law enforcement didn't really do anything with this until last summer. Was it last summer or 2 summers ago?
Well, when they made that bust in Knoxville and got the children, it was end of March.
When we turned in the information about the Dennis.
Oh, I turned it in March.
of
May.
of
Let's
last
see,
year.
March, April, May. Yeah,
May of last year.
Yeah, it was right before June. It was like a third
Be-
week.
of last year is what I mean, though.
Third week is when they took and made the bus. It was about a week before
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But I it's not somewhere else. Because you're not sure uh-huh. And there's something.
Now she's going to talk about how Dawn, before taking this this girl home, he stopped at his work site, a housing edition at a house that he was working at. Did some drugs there at the house.
So they did drugs there, or did they go to get drugs? Okay. $3,000 on front before he went there. He got fronted $3,000 worth of dope. Yeah, that's what she said. Oh my God. So
No, this call I turned in, Charlotte, in July of 2022. I just emailed it to him. I didn't hear anything back or anything else ever. It was in 2024 when Fred went to that transitional living house in Knoxville, and he ran into a guy who claimed to know Playboy and claimed to know of where Summer was, and wanted to help. And because he claimed that Playboy had been involved in his father's murder, and he didn't agree with the child trafficking, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stuff was turned in. Fred turned it into law enforcement and had him dip his phone. They went and looked for that guy, and they found him, and he was in a rehab place. This was last year when that happened. I turned this call, though, in 2022, right when I did it. I just email my stuff in, just so I don't want to bug him and call him. I just email it to him. The only time I've got a call back, you'll never know if it will be anything. Law enforcement's not going to tell you your tip did much. They're not going to tell you. You're not going to know. You send it in because you know it's the right thing to do. But after the what was that? Where was I getting at with that? I forget. I lost my track of thought. But you don't really know what they investigate. But when I've the only time I've got contacted back from law enforcement and known that anything which I've only emailed them probably, like I said, 6 or 7 times, TBI tip line, and the time I got a call back was the last time, and it was from Pruitt. And it was about Andy being on the road in that blue truck. He wanted to know who the blue truck was. This was just 6 months ago. Leslie Earhart, a few months ago, says there was a tip a few months before. Just saying.
He went. So he came there with 3,000 owing, or with the money. More than 3,000, and he still has 3,000 on the list.
Yeah, so it is frustrating to know that this was, they've had this whole time. They've had ever, just like that information I turned in early this year. Fred turned that in and early on in when he was working with law enforcement. They already knew it. Hawkins County already did. I just sent it over to TBI. It's information that had already been turned in, but it's like, that's what's frustrating, It's like, you guys should have known this, you should have, we already told you. But I get there's so many. They just had so many things to look into, I guess. But now I think they're finally onto it. You didn't see where Leslie Earhart said there was a tip? Yeah. Her last interview. And she said a few months before there had been a tip. And that was just a few months ago. And in December, I got a call back from Pruitt. Leslie Earhart was on TV in March or something, or April, saying that they had got a tip a few months ago. So, and if it is related to anything I turned in, it's frustrating because, I'm like, and that's why I turned it in, because I was like, I had a feeling that Hawkins County and TBI were not communicating. Because I was like, does TBI know about Fred working with law enforcement and all that stuff he did? Have they seen the footage? Have they heard the recordings? So I sent it over to him. And that's what I got a call back from Pruitt. I've showed you guys the email and everything. I put it all out there. I didn't put out the call with Pruitt until a few months later because I didn't want to affect anything, you know what I mean, with the case. And plus, that call freaked me out too, how he was about Andy. I don't know what to think, but I think pretty much like he just couldn't say anything. They can't tell you anything. Yeah, it was on the news, just a short news clip. It wasn't a big thing. And she said, I can probably find it here in a second, maybe.
Fascinating to me. She didn't know anything about the little girl. Okay, so she left. She said, Christmas, it never, but and so, okay, so that house condition that he left her at, or that they did drugs at, yeah, I bet that's one of the houses that he was working on at the time. Well, that's what she said. She said he had a lot of houses. Yeah, I bet that's. Yeah. She could probably go to Molly Golightly's or Blow Corn Betty or whatever she goes by. And they show when they go and confront Dawn and Candace. They're over there at one of this housing edition. I bet it might be the same one. It might be. He didn't tell her that he's going to go all the way down. He got him was in Knoxville. He said he doesn't look all the way down through there. So, I mean, he doesn't look a lot of places occasionally.
Real quick, a little clip. I'm going from the Don Wells Family Channel is the one I found it on.
Your shoulders. Weight has been lifted off your shoulders. There's really no way to explain, especially if hours and hours and even years of hard work has gone into a case. Also, along those same lines, when a case remains unsolved, like for instance the Summer Wells case, that's extremely hard because there's nothing that we want more than to solve a case, especially involving a child, and it's hard not having the answers, or being close to maybe discovering something, and just knowing that we just need a little bit more information to resolve a certain situation. So there's nothing better than seeing
listening to her, it gives you hope. But she's the way she acts, you just need a little bit more. What? Who's driving the blue truck? Hold on, let's listen to her.
Case solved and seeing justice served. But at the same time, it's also extremely hard for those cases where we haven't seen justice served yet.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned Summer Wells, so I did want to ask any updates on that case from your perspective or from the TBI standpoint, or?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It is still an open and active investigation. I think most people think that the case has gone cold, but that's not true. We still have agents working on it constantly. We follow up on any new information that comes in. I can say that we've been following up on information that we've received in the last few months. So it is very much an active investigation, and we will not give up.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear.
Was it? Was there something else to that, guys? That was it?
But that is like a U.S.
Okay, so
Marshal.
that's not like what I thought it was. I thought she said something about following up on a tip from a few months ago.
Yeah, she said that.
I mean, she said it, but she didn't say like. She just said that they've been following
Information that
tips
comes in. I can say that we've been following up on information that we've received in the last few months. So it is
I
very.
thought I heard somewhere else. Is there more to this clip? I feel like there's more. This is off of the Don Wells. I heard some. This doesn't seem like all of it.
But over a week when that information was turned in and stuff, and about them motels and stuff in Knoxville, the U.S. Marshals was watching the Greyhound bus station and all of the transit bus stations for way over a week, watching everybody getting on and all, standing around. Remember that one night they was going in a circle, the bus was, and I thought that the bus driver had lost his mind. And when they finally stopped, they got made them two black guys exit the bus.
And they
the
arrested
US
them.
Marshals got them, but I don't know what they got them on.
Yeah, I wonder if it was Jonesboro where they stopped in that housing at the. You know. Just trying to say, right.
He's not going to. Tasha, I tried to get a hold of Chris McDonough. He's blocked me from his channel. He, it's really irritating. He's blocked a lot of people that are good people. I know, really good people that I don't understand. I feel like he has something personally against me because of something that happened in the past with because I was friends with the woman that Josh Lab was dating, and it's not my fault. And it's like he has something personal, and now he doesn't want to talk to Fred or myself about the Summer Wells case because of it. That's how I feel. And I'm sorry, but if we need to put this stuff to the side. I think I honestly feel like people don't want to listen to Fred and stuff because they want to be right, and they know I feel I'm sorry. People need to talk to Fred. He worked with police. There's a reason why. They need to listen to what he's saying. I've tried to reach out to Chris. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you should talk to Chris. You should talk to Chris. You should talk to Chris." You know what they got? I've tried. He fucking blocked me, like on his. I couldn't believe it. You know how much that freaking hurt my feelings? I was like, why would I be blocked? I supported that guy for years, never say anything bad about him. And he's blocked me, you know, like I did something to him. And I know it's him too, because I've emailed him and told him like numerous times, and he's never unblocked me. At this point, I wouldn't want to work with him because like I feel like really I honestly feel offended and bothered by what? No, I don't know that person. Why? Tips the
That's what they're saying.
No. No, wait, let me see the name again.
We didn't give it.
Huh? No, I don't think that's it. I think it was Marlena Crawford. He slipped and said she, and I think there's a reason for that. Still believe it's either way. I still believe it's the Hayes brothers, no matter who turned the tip. I haven't tried Coffin Daffer yet, but you know, Ansley Daniels seems interested in my information about Andy Bernard on the road. Maybe I can get her to listen, since Chris McDonough doesn't want to listen. Here, let me keep playing this. I gotta pee real quick.
Yeah. So she got married between now and last Christmas, or? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. One thing at a time. I mean, it's doing the right thing. I think that's great. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Or for someone mom and just, you know, and then you oh my God. Is this something that you oh my God. Was this said like since Summer went missing? Like this was even December. So all this she only saw him in December, that's the only time, or yeah, she seen him many times like before this. But when she came home with him was in December. Was when he was saying about the septic tank and stuff? Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Okay, so a septic tank or he said septic or sewage tank, is that how he said it? Sewer or even better septic tank. Oh my God. I think she said
Ask Fred.
from the waist with the tears the body and
I'll have to ask Fred if he knows of anything, but I mean, he wasn't like really that close to those people. But Fred, I mean, I could totally see that. I'll wait till he Fred. Had Jody Sue ever been in a hospital or mental hospital that you know of? Or
No, as I know of course, I don't know her that good. I don't really know much about her. Period.
right? What neighbor has stayed on YouTube for years straight making
she's
bullshit
explaining.
stuff out her head? Yeah, she's part of the whole group, and that's why she was afraid of her child being trafficked or being taken because of Andy's debt. She knew that Andy and Dawn had a debt together, and so that's why she cried, and it bugged her and traumatized her so much because she knew it. Well, beyond the fact that her baby daddy is involved in some really horrible things, she thought, oh my God, it could have been my daughter because it was also Andy's debt and blah, blah. You know what I mean?
She kind of slammed a lot of
Allegedly.
bullshit out there, just protect someone else. Well, actually, two of them she cares about. My opinion.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
what I understood.
And how horrible of a parent to get your children involved in such horrible, evil acts.
She's so worried about the jury pool against her son.
Jury pool against her son.
That's what she already threw out there, you know.
I know she keeps saying stuff like that. Oh, if Andy ever go, they're just trying to muddy the jury pool if Andy ever has to go on trial.
She's talking about her son.
You think she was talking about her
She was
son?
talking about her son. She said her son, her oldest.
That's odd. What do you mean, Charlotte?
In my opinion, I mean, Andy got him in some messed up shit.
Yeah.
They keep his mouth shut. He doesn't do too much.
I actually wonder if Jody, Sue, and Allie helped watch out during the transactions.
Is that what he said? Did he mention methane gas? Yeah, that's what he told her. Like the body down.
So that's why he thinks nobody's going to find anything because of methane gas.
He said that he knows people.
He knows people who've been put in septic tanks and haven't been found as of yet. So he must have been talking about Rose By. Who else could he be talking about? He knows people who've been put in septic tanks and they haven't been found yet. No, I didn't, Charlotte. Well, can somebody tell I don't know what I was talking about how Jody Sue was afraid her child was going to be trafficked. That her child, she was afraid and traumatized because she was afraid. She kept thinking, oh my God, they got the wrong. She thought that they was her daughter that was supposed to be targeted. Why would she think it was her daughter that was supposed to be targeted? Why would she think that? Why would she seem so traumatized around the fact that she thought, oh, it could have been her daughter. And, they thought it was a mistake and they took Summer instead of her daughter. Probably because she knew Andy owed money.
Or even Summer. He said he knows people who have been put.
Sorry, I was writing things down.
Septic tanks.
$42,000.
And then they even check. I don't know. That's what some people are wondering, but
Hmm?
I think. But here's the thing:
That's
the
what they
hit on it.
What?
The best
42,000 what?
I said they were supposed to pay $42,000. What Dennis said.
Oh yeah, that they owed $42,000 allegedly
Mhm.
was the amount. So, but I don't know. It's around 50. I mean, because 50 keeps being thrown out there, and that must. There's got to be some kind of truth to it.
Right. So what I think that the
Mhm.
septic tank on that property is like an old. I don't. There's a well. Oh my God. This is what'd you say? Oh my God. And you're saying she's not wanting to like call like TBI? She don't want to be that on anymore. She just wants to get thankful now that because she didn't even know she was going to give her whole home. She appreciated it. Oh my God. So, oh my God. She's what? She was living her own hell.
It's hard for me to understand what she's saying at times. I can't understand either what she's saying really. At times.
More than once, she's seen him several times. He was like every 2 or 3 weeks. He would show up down there. And the guy was saying, and the guy, so the guy, can you send her those pictures I just sent you? Yeah. Yeah, can you ask her just like, I mean, would she respond right now while we're on the phone? Or is she like, she's on the phone? Okay. So, like, he would always come down with another guy? Do you know about? Just a red car? Like, yeah, blue blade. She went to straight away. The one with the red car, I knew her mom, and then that's when she came home with the red car. Okay. It's probably his newest, that one.
So she came home in the red car is what she said. It said this girl was given a ride home in the red vehicle. The green or the Forerunner thing. Now they had that green blue what is it called? Suburban. A woman that claims that she knows, or a woman. This is the lady of the night call. This is from back in July 4th of 2022. A conversation I had with a woman who claimed to have information about Don running to Knoxville. This is when the whole Playboy stuff came about. This is when Playboy first was mentioned. She's the one. This is the conversation where it all began with Playboy. She contacted me. She emailed me and told me she had a really good friend who was a lady who was one of Don Wells' escorts, or women he would go see in Knoxville, and she had a lot of information about all this drugs he was getting fronted by somebody named Playboy, who was into trafficking. And then she talks about how, she got her friend, which I kind of think the way she talks, she seems to know too much. So I think she's actually the friend she's speaking of, because she knows way too much. When you ask her a question, she knows way too many details off the top of the head without contacting this girl. So I believe she's actually the woman she's speaking about.
And that he got, and he just got yeah, it's probably that red car that yeah, his new, he got that in like October. Really? Because she has a newer car. Yeah, it's new, and I don't know why I can't think of the type of vehicle it is, but it's red. And the blue, you said it's, and she said it was like a Blazer. It's like vehicle. Okay. She said it was like navy blue. Okay.
Navy blue, that's different.
I don't know. It's not ringing a bell, but I'm sure, like, because I was thinking, like, Andy has he had a silver, like, Kia. It's like a box looking. She said it was like a box looking thing, but also said she considered she was all drugs on her thing. She said box, actually, like boxer. She said, yeah, she really box that thing. Really, she said, but she was drugs and she had a color. That's crazy, because if she said box, like, I wonder if I sent a picture to her. If I could get that. Hold on, she was just, she didn't know anything about her. She said, you know, anything about her. And he did say that on his phone. But all she was talking about, she said she could do it on her. So, wow. I mean, I was calling Donnie. She called him Donnie? Yeah, they called him Donnie. So, the Playboy guy, was he the one that fronted him the drugs, too? Yeah, he runs the whole thing. He runs the whole thing. And this is out on the outskirts of, and she can't, like, she doesn't know, like north, south, east, west. Yeah, yeah. I got the chick there, dropped off there, I hit him up there. And she was leaving, and one of his dogs was up there in the town or whatever. She didn't know anything else about it. And he pretty much took them, his dog. Yeah, so they were getting hard, or even had a drag or something. She was never going over there. Yeah. So, and he said, you want to go party? And she said, yeah. And she just took the chance and went with it. Wow, I'm surprised. I was just the thing off the money, you got to get some money. That she can be doing the day but close her in the home. That what? Once she got so far away, what happened? What? She was home, but got so far away. Once she got so far away, and just going on her own. But she had convinced her to take her, on into Rumble. Yeah. And he dropped her off there in the mall. Wow.
Dropped her off in Blunttville McDonald's.
Oh. So how was he supposed to go back to that motel again if he never brought her back? That's what I said. And that's what he told her. He said, well, hold on, it will probably be mad because of this. He don't want to get you out of there. Yeah.
Said Playboy will probably beat my ass for taking you out of there, giving you a ride out of there.
She said he gets some money all the way. She was afraid to go home and come back. Yeah, she went home. And she was just distracted with something else. Right. Like, I wonder if he was getting performing sexually. He would get frustrated. But it was a fun for. Yeah, because I actually remember, I think, something being said about sexually, like, when he was drunk, like, I don't know. I know it's weird, but I thought I remember something coming up. He only drinking vinegar, she said. Yeah. And she's not going to she said that it wasn't, she said it wasn't the alcohol that was probably done. It was probably the crack and the meth and stuff I did. So she said she felt me in my thoughts, but
she's just talking about how the men, have sexual performance issues and how they get frustrated and because being high, and she's afraid that she was going to get hurt because that's what she's saying. It's like being on these substances and having a hard time performing.
I mean, it's odd that she
So,
lives in McDonald's.
she said, no, no,
What's
she said,
Blackfoot?
they just cannot.
Oh, in Buffalo.
Okay. Wow. This.
Well, because he would have to find out that it was Dawn that took her, gave her a ride, and plus, I don't know, like he had many girls, like in many hotels. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wondered that too. Tasha.
This is so crazy, and you trust this lady. Like, but nothing can be said about this online. I don't know her name, so that'd be.
Call her Ruby. So she calls her Ruby. So was that her stage name at some point? Like her dance name? That's what it made, and just like she's calling the other girl Diamond, you know what I mean? The girl that took Ruby for her drug debt to Playboy and left her there, abandoned her with Playboy when they were all messed up to help cover her drug debt. A woman named Diamond. And I think I found the woman Diamond online and stuff too. It's all associated with the Mouse's Ear. A diamond that worked at Mouse's Ear.
I wouldn't mention your screen name either unless you wanted me to. I mean, yeah. But I mean, she's scared of them. I mean, I'm gonna probably have to. Do you care? I just feel like I have to turn this in, like the record. I mean, I just have to call them or TBI. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I thought I'd ask you if the TBI did, and I think she didn't mention. Right, but she didn't respond to it, you know. Yeah, but maybe they could figure out by, like, I mean, she said it's either anonymously or that she didn't want to know. Right. I mean, I don't think that they'll be able to find her, but I wonder if they could figure out what motel that is by just those names. Like,
Norman Bates style.
Outside.
Hey, Val.
He lives below the office or in the office? He lives below the office. It's like a small level on the bottom level, but you can see it like you drive behind the hotel. And I'm guessing Habib is probably yeah, but he probably got prostitutes too. Or maybe he got prostitutes. He gets a friendship for what he does that. So
So, guys, I do have to go because I have to. I will post. I didn't realize. I'm going to post this call, probably tonight, without the commentary. So, because I didn't know I didn't have it, because I think it's something that people need to listen to, and I think, you know, since we're getting back to the trafficking and stuff, I highly think that this is important. So, really? Well, this gang is Vice Lords affiliated. Vice Lords. But, you know, anyways, guys, watch for that. I'll post that in case anybody wants to listen to the rest of that call without the commentary, because I have it up. If you search Lady of the Night on my channel, you can pull it up and listen to it, but it's like us going over it and commentary. So That's frustrating, I know, for you guys. So I'm going to upload it by itself. All right, guys. A Kenneth Price. Kenneth Price.
That name sounds.
It does sound familiar, but
Does sound familiar.
probably because I'm sure we've looked over this guy before. I'm sure that's probably why. Hmm. Yeah, along with a bunch of other Knoxville people, huh? Hard Kumar Patel, Rogersville. I see what you're talking about. What? Come on now. Bunch of ads just popping up. No, I don't want that. Damn it. So, August 7th, 2023. Rogersville man is one of 7 men accused of seeking illicit sex from minors. Over a 2-day period starting August 4th as part of the undercover investigation aimed at addressing human trafficking in East Tennessee. Authorities placed several decoy advertisements on websites known to be linked to prostitution and commercial sex acts. The focus of the operation was to identify people seeking to engage in commercial sex with minors. And authorities arrested 7 men. And I'll go ahead and just show you guys it real quick before I end this. The 7, in case you're curious. Renee Gonzalez Sevierville, which is right around that area. Remember she was saying some guy named Habib. Hard Kumar Patel of Knoxville. Jorge Pickens of Knoxville. That guy's off Maryville. Brad Hartman. Kenneth Price of Rogersville. Jeremy Williams of Knoxville. Sheathan Ragnatha. I don't think that was him. Look, 7 men arrested in Alcoa human trafficking operation. Alcoa Highway. All right, guys. Same group, same thing, I believe. Same group connected to Summer, that Alcoa, Knoxville area. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.